Hey, you out there. I am back again with another video of the fiber and jewelry series. Today I'm going to do a really simple fiber wrap bead. This little like carnival bead you see here. This is the one I made in the last video, the tube bead with some embellishing. And so I thought I'd get really crazy on this one, and there's a whole, it's actually turned into a mixed media bead. So anyways, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so what you want to do is start out with a core. What this is it's wrapped around a generous size wood bead. I got these at Joann's. I didn't go there. I ordered them online. I think it was like only $1 a bag. But what you want is, and I can show you, is you want these beads that have a large hole, at least 9 millimeters or bigger. The smaller beads in here don't have quite a big enough hole. You can get macrame beads, wood beads for macrame. They should have large holes like this, and you can also color them and paint them, do whatever you want with them. These are already colored, so that's fine with me. But yeah, Joann's had a bag like this for $1. You can also find some of these beads. I believe these came from, oh, it still has a wrapper, either Michael's, no, it's Traditions. No, this is Hobby Lobby. Yeah, it's got Hobby Lobby. So some of these in here actually have holes that are kind of big enough. And with these wood beads, you're going to see some holes are a little bit bigger than another. It really varies. And so this bag, I'm pretty sure I got this half off. So, or, you know, with the 40% off coupon or something. All right, and the reason you want that big hole is you need that room to wrap your fibers, and if you're gonna wrap, like I have wire going wrapped around here, so that also takes up inside that circumference. Oh no, I scared my cat. She was under my feet and I dropped something near her. Anyways, so you want you want that hole where you can get the multiple wraps of your media or your fiber through there, and that's why you need a big hole. And what you could do though is you can make your own core bead for your multimedia or fiber bead. You could use like polymer, like inexpensive polymer clay, or just scrap polymer, make your own beads, make your own shapes. You could use like paper clay. The only thing with paper clay is you can't get that wet because it will disintegrate. But with fiber beads, you shouldn't be getting your beads wet anyways, if possible. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to need to get your core bead. I'm going to pull one out of here. This one's really nice and color coordinated with this fiber. This right here is sari silk. I use that in this bead also, but this is really thin. I think you can kind of, you see that translucency? There you go. It's really thin fiber, and that makes it easier to fit through here. So like this African wax resist dashiki fabric is too thick and heavy to wrap multiple times, probably through this core. And if you want to add metals and wires or whatever, it's going to take up more space in there. So you want to think about that. And so really thin sheer fabrics are great. And again, I'm going to mention that sari silk is not equal. It's just like cotton. Silk fabrics come in different thicknesses and weights and embellishments. So here again, this is, you see how sheer that is? I could probably rip it if I wanted to. It's very delicate. Sari silk ribbon will often be very heavy. Can you hear that? It's like, it's really heavy. This is a heavier silk. It's gorgeous though, isn't it? This will be a little bit harder to fit multiple times through there with that kind of sari silk. So you want to look for something that's very sheer. And I got these as fat quarters of recycled scrap sari silk on eBay. You can just search the internet and this stuff is everywhere. Scrap fibers are like kind of the bane of like fast fashion and just the world of having a lot of people on it needing clothes. So you have a lot of leftover fibers. So let's get going. All right, so we got our bead. We picked out a bead. It's got a nice big hole in it. So we need to get some of my hair that I like. Aleene's Quick Dry Tacky Glue. Again, this is 4 fluid ounce and it's quite a bit. And it does dry rather quick. It has a really good adhesion to these wood beads. So, where's my fiber? Oh, there it is. So this, I'm not gonna completely do this. So I cut out a strip of fiber. This is about 1 inch. It's not perfect. It can be different lengths, widths, it's whatever you feel appropriate. I always say getting a little bit too much, like on this one, it's a really long piece, to get a little extra going. All right, so what I like to do is I get some, where's my, here's, this got enough contrast. I'm trying to find a wire that's easy to see. I know, I'm kind of just letting this go at regular length of how this actually happens so people can see how long it does take. All right, so I want to make like a little needle in order to thread this fiber through the bead. It's got a weird end, so I'm going to just get rid of that right now. I don't know where that went. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. So this is, there's a little bit of a rough edge here where I had got there's a little bit of glue on here. The glue dries rather firm and stiff and hard. It's not like a fiber glue that's really nice and soft and flowy. All right, so I'm going to make a little loop. Not a loop, but a little bend. It's kind of like making your own needle in the 20 gauge wire. Oh my gosh, that's not bright enough. It's disappearing on the background of, so if I get that out of the way, okay. So I'm gonna put that in here. So this is what takes a little patience because it's slippery. So I'm gonna tie this around here. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a good evening or day. Oh, so yeah, this is very delicate. You don't want to pull too hard because it may rip the silk. It is that thin. But yeah, I hope you're having a good day or night. I don't know, that might, okay. So we got that. All right. And I'm gonna go through here. I'm gonna pull it through. Okay. So this is where you can kind of like start fiddling around and seeing what feels right to you and what's comfortable in your hand. Sorry, I'm trying to keep a clean mat to make this easy to see. So I've got this pulled through here. All right, so I want to get this fiber bent the same way so it curves on the inside. Give it. It's not bright enough, it feels like. So it curves on the inside of that bead. So it curves around with it. Can you see that? Okay, so I'm going to pull this a little bit through. I'm going to have just a tiny, tiny tail of fiber, and so it's nicely, get it rounded in there. Make sure it's nice and rounded. See, it's rounded all the way through, is what's going through there, like rounded and around the shape of the bead in there, so you get a nice, a flusher connection to the inside wall of that bead, and you don't have like a bunch of stuff like in the way that like you can't string through it. Okay, so that's the reason I'm doing this. I know there's a lot of weird details to this, but I want it to make sense to you. So when you get, if you get to this spot in your life and on your beading table, it's not completely frustrating. I mean, when you're doing something new and you're out of practice or something like that, yeah, it's okay. All right, so I'm going to pull that back to the side, and in here, I'm going to insert and gently squeeze. Just see there's a little bit of dab in there. A little bit can go a long way with this tacky glue. I need a toothpick. I don't know what happened to my toothpicks. They're like packed away somewhere. So I'm just going to use a scrap wire. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of, I hope you can see that. I think you can see that. I'm going to make sure it doesn't drop all to the bottom. Pull some of it up here. Get a good coat inside there. Just spread it around. Okay. This wire I'm going to put off to the side. Oh, don't want to get my wire all over, well, glue all over my mat. Okay, so now I'm going to gently pull this down. And now I'm going to use one of those, where'd it go? There it is. Those coffee stir things, the ones that has in the video, the other video was showing that had, you know, it has the center like a straw. It's hard to see. So I'm going to use that to push that down in there so I can, so I want to get that hole in there. I want to get more space. So I'm going to keep pushing it in there. Can you see I'm pushing it against the glue? Sorry, the focus is not happy. I need a different camera, but I don't know what to get. I really don't know what to get. I don't know what kind of camcorder. I have no idea. If anybody has an idea and they'd like to share, that'd be great. You can comment below, and you see how I'm working that around in there, making more space in there so we can have more room for additional pieces and stringing. There's some just frayed, sorry, silk in there. Okay. So you're going to get something like that, and I'm going to go ahead so I can use this straw. I'm going to clean off the glue. Hopefully that's focusing over there while I do this. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side. So, and again, so you make a needle, string it through, glue it, and push it against the walls. All right, so this is going to dry. So we're going to put that to the side, and so we're going to come back here. So this is what it's like after it dried, and you can see how the glue changes your fiber to, it makes it dark. So when I say when I'm going to be gentle with how much glue I add or how I tack it down, that's the reason why, unless you want it dark, but it's really rough feeling. It's not really, I don't think it'd feel good against the skin. So that's the only drawback of this tacky glue and not using a fiber glue. But we are doing multimedia, so we do need a different adhesion because it's kind of a smooth surface with, you know, fiber. It's different areas. There used to be a website, like, I forgot what it was called, but it was all about just like what kind of like glue or adhesion type stuff you needed for whatever project. And you could type it in and it would just like bring up suggestions. It was so awesome. It was like, there's a cat going bananas behind me. That was not me growling and running through the room. That was my cat. She's not growling because she's mad. She's like happy. It's funny. We call her Monster Cat because she turns into a monster at night, especially after she goes to the bathroom. Okay, so you can see how I used that needle that I made with the wire and I pulled it through. Okay, so I want to cover up this right here. I'm gonna take off my jacket. I got a hot flash. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's hot. Oh. Okay, that's a lot of noise probably on the microphone. All right, so we pulled that through. And I want to cover this up with some softer fiber, this fiber that doesn't have glue in it right now. Because this seems itchy. And so once you cover it up, it's not so bad now. Oh, my light went out. My light has been cranky. Cranky light. Okay, and so then again, I'm going to take this, run it through, and see how we got that space in there? So we got space to run this through here. And if I'm missing anything and you have questions, let me know below. I'm trying to be way better about answering comments, and I know I've said that a ton. I think I have one comment I need to reply to. I know there might be more. It's weird though when you, if I reply to you and then you reply back, it doesn't give me the same notifications as if you made a new comment. It's really strange. And when you go to your comment section, you have to dig through it to find those reply comments, not the original comments. It's very strange. I wish they would fix that and make it easier to find those. Or give me like an email notification like they do for the other comments. Just a little thing. Okay, so this, all right, so I just want you to see how it takes a little work with some of this because Sari silk is very delicate. You can see it like fraying as I'm using it. All right, so it's gonna get tighter and tighter in here. And so sometimes your little needle will, geez, all these fibers are getting screwed up. Okay, I'm gonna pull that out, okay. That happens, so this is good, just to show, oh man, I got sweat dripping on my face. Sorry. To show you what to do, because sometimes your needle will get stuck in there. And you can actually use like a different kind of needle. There's all kinds of needles out there on the market for fibers. I just thought I'd do something that would be relatively easy. All right, so you can also get a little creative and you can wrap this needle. It takes a little more dexterity. You gotta hold it onto the fiber. And it's like doing a wire wrap loop on a fiber, so it's a little squirmier. And then your fiber breaks, and that's okay, because I'm showing you it's not the end of the world if that happens. We'll do some troubleshooting as I'm recording. Man, this video is taking a long time. It didn't take that long to make the other. Oh boy. Yeah, I got too much. Okay, I should pause. I gotta pause. I got too much sweat. I kind of got over that hot flash a little bit. Now I got the sweats that are making me cold. All right, let's see. We're gonna try working on this again. Try to make sure I'm on the camera right. Gonna hold that down. With my chain nose pliers. Hold that really firm, and I'm gonna use my bent chain nose pliers. Oh, I wish I could get wire that was like crazy bright and you could easily see what I'm doing. Excuse my heavy breathing. I'm still working on getting my lung capacity back. I think it's going to take a while. All right, so kind of wrap. Yeah, then making, this is like, this fiber is so delicate that this is really more difficult than it should be because it's such a delicate fiber. Okay, so I did a wrap around that knot there. Hopefully that'll be a little bit more secure. And right now we can get a straw and just, all right, so when this gets really difficult to get through here, what you can do is you can take a little straw like these, oh, there's my scissors, little straw, and so like, see, how big is that? Okay, we're gonna just, we'll go flying away from me, straw. So I cut the straw down so you can see here. So what we're gonna do to make this easier to go through, hopefully, is we're going to, so like the fiber's coming out this way, so it's going in that way. So I want to run the straw this way so I don't fight against it. All right, so we're going to wrap that around here. And so now we're going to utilize this straw in there. We're going to utilize that, and we're going to put our wire, the straw, until it comes through here. Hopefully it'll fit through that little knot I made. Doesn't, so my wire's not straight. There we go. And then we pull that, see that? Then we can pull that out. We got our fiber pulling through there. So that's a way to get around some of that, the issue of catching on the fiber on the inside of the core. We want to pull that pretty tight because we want to keep that space in there. But we don't want to pull too tight that it rips the fabric. Oh man, I'm almost at 30 minutes. All right, and so then we wrap that back around here. And I'm gonna pull this back down over that knot because that's the biggest issue. And actually, no, I just go through this way. Sorry, I don't remember what I've done. So that, having that little edge here, just right there, will catch on the stuff on the inside. So just want to make sure you push it down all the way. And you want to hold on, then pull it through. And then pull the rest of the fiber with it, here, through the core. And do we have a, and we finally got our fiber wrapped bead here. You see that? We got our fiber wrapped bead. Yeah. And we'll have to work on cleaning that hole up a little bit if we need to. Okay, so this part is a little tough, but we can do it. We can do it. We're gonna, again, glue the fiber down. It's kind of hard using one hand. All right, so you start to learn how, because I'm pulling this tight, wrapping it over here, and then this finger holding it down taut, and I'm moving it to the side because I need to add the glue in the wall inside there. So again, I took the lid off my tacky glue. I'm going to insert it inside here. Just a little bit of little dots of glue here and there, not a super ton, because a little bit will go a long way in some of this stuff. Okay, you want to make sure this crazy string stays there. And again, I'm going to use my little scrap piece of metal wire, copper wire here to, okay, so this is going to absorb a lot of your glue because the fibers inside the core are very porous and they suck it up. All right, I'm going to pull this over here to connect it to the side wall in there, and then I'm going to take oops. I'm going to take a little piece of straw again and work it all around there and make sure it's got a good connection. Okay, so these little fibers in there are going to start getting really stiff from that glue. So I want to make sure that they're all laying down and playing right. And if they stick out, we can cut those later. That's fine. We can trim those down. It's totally okay. This is like, takes a little bit of trial and error. When you're doing this, you'll get a feel of it. You'll start to, with the more practice. It's all about practice. All right, so as you can see there, we've got our first base bead going, and this green here is the same that was under this bead. And you see how I got totally crazy. So this is underneath here, but this is the base. So now that's going to dry. We're going to let that dry for like a good 5-10 minutes. And oh, my cat's going crazy again. All right. So we're just going to set this to the side. Going to pick up a bead where it's stuck at that step. Let's clean some of this off. Okay. So here is this bead that is already at the same stage as this, but it's dry, and I've got the straw in it it just makes it easier sometimes to hold. And you can see here there's the same concept needle thing, but we're at the point where we can trim this. So I'm going to take this off, and there's like a little bit of rough, you can see some glue got stuck here, and it's not too bad actually. I'm using inexpensive scissors. Look how these are just scissors that get beat up. You see all that junk on them. I'm not using my nice shears or other scissors. I have like 4 pairs of scissors, but one pair is really nice. You know, those like $30 fabric shears. So don't use your fancy scissors on this stuff because there's glue. Some of these have like metallic fibers in them, which are not good for your scissors and wear down the metal. Just giving you all kinds of random information I can think of. All right, so I'm going to start trimming this off. Okay, don't look at the camera, look at the bead, Rebecca. There we go. If you're going to do layering, it doesn't have to be exact, or it doesn't have to be exact if that's your thing. It's all about like what you personally choose. All right, so I'm just going to, for my own personal thing, I'm going to undo the knot. I'm going to take both these things and I'm going to put them in my scrap, either my scrap metal bag or my scrap metal bin or my scrap fiber bin. So here we go. We have a cute bead and we can trim off that if we like. It doesn't have to be so like fuzzy. All right, and so now what I did with this bead is I got some fiber and wrapped a little strand around the belly of it to give it an interesting idea. What did I do with, oh, there it is, pocket guide for mixing colors. So if you can see here, I went sort of for some bold contrasting colors, just really bold colors. And I think they kind of look better on camera with the really bold colors. You can kind of see what's going on better. So when you're making your multimedia fiber bead, I like to use color theory as to what beads or fibers or paint or whatever I'll be adding. You can even add little embellishments from Sorry Silk. I did an unboxing of those in a video. So, ooh. So here you go, like this little wonderful pocket guide for mixing color. It also is really good for just looking at like what colors are complementary or contrasting, because like violet and yellow is really beautiful. Orange and blue is really beautiful, like, but also like certain it's when you start using the color wheel, you see like tertiary, secondary, analogous, tints, tones, shades. I highly suggest getting one of these. They had a tetrad, color, triad, split complementary, complementary, contrasting. I have a color wheel, but I have to find it. This is what I just have at the moment. This is great because then it has a grayscale, so you can kind of see the level. If you've ever had an art class, you know what the grayscale is, and you can see your tints and tones and all that, where it's at. But yeah, so I like to look at like complementary contrasting colors. So yeah, I highly suggest getting a color wheel if you're not sure where to go with color. Okay, so this bead that is being inspired by a circus at this point, because it just looks like a circus. Let's see, what do we want? A contrast. So a contrast for orange, or complementary, would be like a green blue, something around in here, if you go across. So let's see. Oh, there's a cat going nuts behind me again. All right, here, this is a beautiful, this is some African fabric, but it has a beautiful, beautiful bright blue contrast color going through there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make sure this definitely should go around the circumference. Let's see. Yep, it does. It's okay. So I'm going to cut a really thin strip of this. These are all scrap fibers, so I don't feel guilty cutting into them. I just want to cut like a little strip to wind around the bead. And in this fabric, you could use nicer shears, or you could use like a rotary tool on a cutting mat if you wanted to get more precise. But I don't do a lot of precise stuff at this point in my life because I just can't. I just can't be bothered. All right, so what we want to do is look at that. Look at that fun contrast, huh? Okay, it's got a little pink here, but we're going to use that as the thing to tack it down. So I want to just get you down here a little closer, make it easier to see. All right, and just a little bit of glue. I don't want to saturate it, make it dark and uncolorful. Because remember, that's what the glue can do to fiber. I'm gonna let that tack up a little bit there for a second. And then on this one, I'm just gonna add just a tiny little pad for the glue to land to. Oof! My dexterity is so bad. All right. Sorry if I keep going off camera. I'm not. It's hard. It's. If you saw how this was, you'd laugh. You'd be like, "That's awkward, Rebecca." Okay. So I'm gently tapping that to tack it down. So I don't want to get too saturated with the glue. So I'm going to start, let's see if the angle is right. Like it's angled up. See how it's like it's angling up that way. So I'm going to turn it down just a tad, like turn it at an angle slightly. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna go just about a third of the way or so over and give another drop of glue. And just gently tapping it where it doesn't soak through the fabric. It doesn't seem like it's focusing very well, does it? Why isn't it? Okay, jeez, this camera is picky. I really need a new camera. It's like the hardest part of that. Oh, God. See, that's a little too much. So I'm going to take my little wire, pick some of that off. I'm going to put that in a hand over here, and this is the dexterity part. And just gently tap that down. See, it's starting to squeeze out. I don't want it to squeeze out too much and make a harsh, bumpy, uncomfortable. All right, so we're going to use this extra fiber, extra glue from the wire, not the extra fiber. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more. Oh boy, it's coming out. That's the one thing you have to watch out, is glue likes to come out of the container. If you've dealt with like Gia's hypo cement, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That Gia's, okay, so that's a little too much. I'm going to get that on my finger. And glue that there. All right. And gonna let this dry. All right, took a little break, so I know I got rings on now. But anyways, so we have these glued down and we got the little stripes on these. So here's the one we made. Here's the one we wrapped just a little bit ago. And here's one, this is very dark. It's so dark. It's actually got 2 wraps on it. Maybe it's my eyes. It just doesn't seem like that's showing up or focusing. Anyways, maybe you can see that. My cat got up on my mat and anyways, now my mat's all dirty. So this one, yeah, I took actually some cotton, and this is also cotton. This little strip I cut out from some African dashiki fabric. And so you see it's just that little strip in there. So like when you get a colorful piece of fabric like this, you get, I mean, there's so many things you can work with when you're working on a small scale that, I mean, a big piece of fiber, you got a lot of options in it when you have colors like this. Or you can get, you know, fibers that have more, like you could get more of a consistent strip of red. And this, it says it's supposed to be sari silk. It's really heavy. It's also hand painted. I just can't bring myself to cut it because it's been hand painted. It's just beautiful. They say Java prints, but it's actually African dashiki. It may be made in Java, but they wear the clothing in Africa, and those are called dashikis. I'm pretty sure most people know what dashiki is. So I'm rambling. Let's get going. So you don't have to keep adding stuff to the bead. Like, you may be happy with this. And this, you know, like if you had like a bunch of these beads together, they look really beautiful, you know? You don't need like a crazy bead every bead, because see how all the color and everything starts to add up. So this could actually be like a focal, or you could, I don't know. That's the next step, is we got to start making something with these beads. All right, trying to get the mind going. All right, so You could leave your bead plain, you could add extra things. You can, let's see, get wire. Again, we want to work on our color. I want to work on it. You know, like orange being across from blue, being a complementary contrasting color. And then this bright yellow and green contrasting, this bright yellow and green contrasting with these darker violets down here. So you see how that works? Okay. Oh, let's use this. Let's okay. So we got this really dark fiber, and that's not the darkness from the glue. So we want to pick out I believe these are 24 gauge. So if I was using this purple, it would kind of disappear on top of the main part. It would show up over the yellow and green. So what do we want to use? We want to use something that's going to pop. That's pretty bright. Look at those two together. Yeah, that's pretty bright. Let's go with this. This kind of a peachy color, 24 gauge artistic wire. All right, so I'm gonna just grab a good amount. That's like, I'm not really seeing anything. Okay, this is, let's see. That's about a foot and a half, a little over a foot and a half of wire. So I'm just going to cut it and get some freedom here in this wire. And this one won't stay on my hand, on my finger, my Delica beaded peyote thing. And I just want to show this here that some Duracoats do, these are very nice beads, but they're coated, and you're going to get that, you're going to see the color underneath there, the actual glass bead. Just even nice beads, the abrasion will mess them up. Okay. So we're going to take this, let's see, we're going to see if we can anchor it into, can you see that? Let me see if I can, oop, just fell off. All right. That's not the bead I want this bead. Why am I getting that bead? So you want to just see if we can poke it into the fiber and hold that there and then bend it over. And what I want to do before I start adding beads is I want to get my first wrap through here. And so again, to get your wire pulled through. Use the straw, and then you want to stick it into here, pull it through, pull it back out a little bit. There we go. Trying to make this easy as possible. I've had some issue with some focus on videos before, my camera focus and attention brain focus. So I'm going to pull that down. That out, and I'm still going to hold on here, and I'm going to pull really tight, holding on to here because it's just going to pop right off, but we just want us to get it secured. I'm going to run my finger over it. Okay, so I'm going to pull it, not holding, and it's secure. Good. That's what we want. We want to make sure it's secure before we get these beads going. And so I have a little bit of bead, I was pretty proud. I didn't have too many beads left over from making this one. So these are pretty bright, but I think we want to get more contrast, like these beautiful matte yellow seed beads. These are 11-0s. Whoop, I just dropped some. It doesn't take a lot when you're when you start mixing your beads. So you don't need a ton. I think white would be interesting. I've got these white triangle seed beads. These are Japanese. Man, these used to be so affordable. Look at that. These were only $4.50 for a 6-inch tube back in the day when beads were cheaper. So that triangle shape will also give us some more interest to the bead. Ooh, that was loud. Sorry, my bracelets are very loud. So I want to add a little bit more orange. This right here is I got a flat orange, and then I got one with a luster. So you see how different seed beads even look. I kind of like this luster because it's shiny, and this is so dark. I kind of want some color to pop on it and not just disappear. I'm gonna go with that. I mean, I got a lot of beads here now. Ooh, I'll get some more of these I used on that tube bead. Get some of these hex cut, beautiful, shiny. All right, it's like a little carnival right here. Okay, so I am just going to start, put those back over here. I am just going to start popping these beads on, just indiscriminately. Just make sure they're pretty mixed up though. Right, let's get more mixed. No, they're a little too stagnant. Okay. All right, I'm trying to throw seed beads around the room, so I'm not going to show you how to do the whole bead. Just give you an idea, because this video is taking very long, because I always give out way too much information. And then it's like, oh, I forgot to say this, or I forgot to say that. And it's just like, no. I always fight with my brain. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing good and you've been having a lot of beady fun lately. Right, so there we go. Now the cat's going crazy again. I'm just going to kind of space some of these out. And then again, I'm going to get my straw. Remember to keep your straw. Make sure you can get it through there. Probably should have done that before I put the beads on. There we go. It's always trial and error. And then I'm going to feed that through there. And make sure it doesn't twist up. Okay, there we go. And then get that blue back down here. And then we're going to pull really tight. Jeez. Alright, so there's one of the beads. I'm not too happy with those colors, honestly. I don't like that white. So, you know, it's all like personal taste. And there's like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. That's part of the trial and error. I may be able to get them to work in my brain. Okay. And then I'm going to go up the other way, so I'm going to grab some more beads. I'm going to not grab as many white beads. Get some orange on here and some green. I am using my brain a little bit more with picking these colors out, because I didn't like that white so much. Let's see if this works better with fewer white beads. So I want to hold that right here so the beads don't go down into the hole of the bead here. I'm going to bring this up over. See if I can. I'm just going to try this. I can see the hole through there. I'm wondering if I can actually get it to work. Yeah, I got it. I did it. Using that straw helped keep the craziness in there under control. That bead. There we go. So we can start. I'm holding the wire down tight in my hand here. It does take some hand strength. Right now my wrists aren't hurting. Oh my goodness, my wrists were hurting yesterday. It was so weird. I was like, do I have carpal tunnel? I hope I don't. All right. Yeah, I like the color. I'm not so happy with the white. The white is just too stark of a difference against these colors. Maybe if I added some white paint, I might be able to get these white beads to blend into this bead better. So here we go again. We're going to start putting more seed beads on. Maybe I'm just going to finish this. Why not? Make this video an hour long. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to use more white beads. That's it. I'm going to challenge myself right now. See if I like it or not. I totally am up for challenges on some of this stuff. I remember there's like a Thunder Horse Descendant. She's also on YouTube. She's wonderful. If you were looking for channels to watch, she has this thing called Found Object Challenge. It's so much fun. Let's see if I can get this to work again without a straw. But anyways, I would joke because it was like really hard. Some of the beads, you'd be like, oh man, I'd never use these beads, but let's try it. And I would bitch and moan, excuse me. I don't mean to say the B word like that, but you know, my mom would always say that. Don't be and moan. Stop your being and moaning. I don't know. I'm pretty sure a lot of your parents might have said that at one point. Right. So yeah, okay, the white. If it's not a lot of white, I'm working with it. I can. Okay, cat is going crazy again. Oh, I love these cats so much. So, okay. So what have you been up to? Are you guys gardening or you getting... I know people live in different parts of the world and seasons are different. So I don't know, are you getting your gardens ready for winter or summer? Okay, man, so far this has been working where I can just do this without a straw. I want to keep trying. But yeah, I know like I've seen a lot of my friends doing gardens and I'm really jealous. I wish I could grow another tomato plant this year. I might try. I think I'm going to do 5. I think I'm going to do 5 things of beads on here. This purple actually kind of looks nice on top of this yellow. These purple pop really beautifully on that yellow stripe. I love bringing this green and yellow in the bead here from this color to over here. All right, so we're going to grab some more beads. We're going to grab... I like that yellow and I like that green a lot. So I got way more beads than I need, but that's okay. I didn't want to dump out a ton and then have to either sort them or whatever. They're really beautiful beads. I don't want to leave just a random mix of them, but I guess I can if it's small enough. Maybe I should fast forward some of this and you don't have to hear me rambling. To test my editing abilities. I'm trying to be better about how I edit videos. Just trying to be better. Just better. Working on myself and such. Getting healthier. Look at that. A lot of beads. So yeah, you can get kind of different vibes. It's all about what you want. Man, I've been really lucky. This is just going right through the bead. And the same thing with that straw technique, when you're like, as the straw technique, as you're trying to get through here, when you're stringing these, if you want to string them on a wire or like a tiger tail beading wire, then, sorry, got a little zoomed out. You can use that straw and it'll make it easier to get your beading wire through the bead and not have to fight all this stuff in the core of it. So yeah, what do you think of that? That really jazzed that bead up. Okay, all right, So I'm going to wrap another one here in between the beads. So we're going to bead a wire between the beaded wire. I don't know if I have enough. No, I don't have enough wire to do that everywhere. It's fine. This is just an example bead for the channel that I'm doing. So I'm just going to kind of speed up and see where what I got left. And it helps if you keep this straight. And when you get it warm, it makes it really malleable. That copper core wire is so soft. There we go. Got it fit through there. All right, so do one more. One more, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this wire. Actually, I need to cut it. It's a little too long. I'm going to stick that into the fiber and push it into there if I can. I'm going to hold on to here real tight so it doesn't push back this way, but all the focus is pushing the wire into that bead. Okay. All right. Oops. And then you can use some chain nose pliers to push it in there. And then smash it down in there with your chain nose. Be very careful. I'm smashing the wire against that wall in there, and voila! We got another bead here. The only difference between this bead and this bead is this one has paint. And this one also has those sari silk scraps that I was showing you in this video wrapped around it. See, it's like all around there. It's really beautiful pink. So I will show you how to really easily, I like to use a plastic bag. I've already got like glue on my mat. I told myself I'd never do that, and now I got glue on my mat. You can also embellish with flatbacks, crystals. This is it. This is all the flatbacks I have. There's like a bag over here that just has like one. Yeah, this one just has one flatback in it. Like, is this fusion beads or? And I think it's a different bead. No, it looks like fusion beads. I miss fusion beads. Anyway, so you can glue flatbacks. Let's see, where'd that other one? Like, you can glue to your fiber, get like a little sparkle. Do you guys want to do that? Oh wait, but I want to show you how to easily use paint. So, what color do we want to do? I bought, what did I buy? What is this? A 24 pack from Amazon. And it's a 24 pack of craft paint, acrylic craft paint. It's really heavy bodied. See, it's not labeled for individual cell. It is not toxic. It meets those ASTM requirements. And so I picked out some really vivid colors to use. And I really like these because they're heavy body. They're not a really fluid craft paint. And I'm so impressed with them. The little package I got did come with some paintbrushes. Sorry, my brain, I'm working on it. And, but I thought I'd use a Q-tip because this is like a really easy way to get a nice round shape instead of using like a brush. So I'm going to just open this, and there's going to be plenty of paint and a lid typically. All right, so I'm going to just use a standard Q-tip. You see how I use this side over here? I used it for yellow and orange. All right, and so I'm just going to gently, oh, that's like hard to see. Everything's hard to see. So there's just a little bit of paint. You gotta make note of that little nub there, because that's gonna like touch your material faster than you're ready for. So I'm gonna use that little, oh, wait, let me see if I can zoom down a little closer. So I'm gonna use that little nub and just gently, just slowly work at it. I mean, there's some, it's not going to be perfect because it's got wrinkles in the fiber there. But see, it's basically not too bad. You see there's a little bit sticking off of it. It's not perfect, but it works. And so I'm not going to do the whole thing because this paint takes a while to dry. That's my only complaint. So that's all I'm going to do. Because I'm gonna get it all over my hands, which I did earlier. I'm just gonna throw that away now. So you can carry, you could space it around. You could leave this open here and not do dots. It's up to you. You could do like a base of like a bigger dot of this underneath and do like a yellow dot on top. There's so much you can do. This is just what I'm doing. You can use different colors, different materials. This is what I'm using. Oh man, I got glue everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I've got, oh my goodness, this is almost 30 minutes again here in this video. All right, so we're gonna let this dry off to the side. And yeah, that's that bead. So, okay, I'm just going to sit that there. Oh, aren't these fun colors? These are really fun colors. Oh, man. Anyways, I think I'm going to wrap this video up. Is there anything else I need to talk about? What did I? Okay, yeah. I think that's the majority. Yeah, again, flat backs. I think that would be really fun. Like just having this one right here and just doing some really fun flat backs on it. Like a really simple bead. I think that would be fun. And it'd be really cool tassel topper beads. Wouldn't that be like a really fun carnival bead on top of a tassel? Okay, I'm gonna wind this down. I've been doing this for a while. My husband's probably tired of me and running my mouth. I'm tired of running my mouth. My throat is dry. I want to thank you all a ton. I want to thank you so much for your support and your kindness and sticking with me, even though I've had some mental health days, to put it nicely. I'm working on it. Even my husband's like, man, you're in a really good mood. And I'm like, I'm trying really hard to work on it. So I don't want to be in a bad mood and like spread that around. That's just not fun. So, man, that carnival bead looks fun with those delicas. Yeah, so I'm going to try to come up with some other ideas for beads and fiber stuff. I mean, I have other items I've made that include fiber, like fiber bracelets and such. Yeah, I just want to keep expanding and sharing with you guys. I can't like help people monetarily, but I would like to give to them whatever knowledge I've got or whatever creativity I can share with you, because you've all been very supportive and way too kind to me. I thank you so much. Thank you for everybody who's put up with me not following through on wanting to do things. I have like all these like huge ideas, and it's been so difficult to like just get like a shower. So yeah, like if I get a shower, that's like a good day. Anyways, hope you're doing good. I hope your family's doing good. That includes your furry friends and your loved ones, whether you're related or not, they're your loved ones in your family no matter what. And I hope they're doing good. I hope you are. And I hope you're having crazy adventures with your beading and creativity and your family and everything like that. Wishing you the best. Thank you so much for being with me, hanging with me. Have a beautiful day. Got to move this because my hand's going to get on it because I'm a mess. And I'll have yellow paint all over the place like a cat. And anyways, have a good day. Have a good, if you start playing around with these, I'd love to see what you make in my bead group called Diani Adorned Beads. I can put that right here. You can join if you want. It's not super active, I'm being honest. I try to be honest with you as much as I can. And sometimes it's a brutally honest thing, but yeah, I haven't been super active because I lost my job and blah, blah, blah. But, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on getting better and better. Have a beautiful day. Look at that bead right there. Have a beautiful beady day, and I'll see you in the next one.